welcome to my channel. Today we'll be talking about support and resistance. We'll be talking about zones too, how to identify support and resistance, how to identify zones, the correct way to mark out support and resistance, and also the correct way to mark out zones, right? If you're new to the channel, kindly click on the subscribe button, turn on the notification for more, right? So thank you guys. So let's get started. When you hear the word support and resistance, try and relate whatever happened around your environment to trading, because this is one of the way to make it easier for yourself. Do you understand? This is one of the way to make the work easier for you. Now, when you hear the word support, what's that thing that comes through your mind? Something that supports, something that helps, something that supports or guide. No, let's leave the word guide. Something that supports you, right? Let's take, for instance, you're seated on a chair, right? With your laptop, watching this video. That chair you're seated on is a support. The floor in your house, in your home, is a support, right? Now, how about resistance? The ceiling, you can call it ceiling, it's also a resistance. That thing that resists, whatever is above you is a resistance. That's how it is on the chart. We have support, we have resistance. Now, when we talk about support and resistance, we are simply talking about, those levels on the chart, that price respects most of the time. Those levels on the chart that price respect often is what we call support and resistance. Now, the ones on the downside, the ones below are the support, and the ones above are the resistance. Now, they have key role to play in the forex market. They help you identify a good level to come in. If you're looking for buy opportunity, you're looking to buy from support. If you're looking for sell opportunity, you're looking to sell from resistance. All you have to do is allow price to create a resistance or a support level, and then wait for price to come and retest that level before you get in. How does price create this support and resistance? Now, let's talk about it. When price start buying, automatically it start buying from a support level. Price start buying from a support level. From here, you have a higher high, right? Price is trending. Let's say price is trending upward. It's giving us uptrend. You have a higher high right here. From this point where price will start giving you a higher low, automatically a resistance level has been created. Now, from here, price will move higher, breaking out from the resistance, creating another resistance right here. And automatically, we have a new support right here. Now, price will come lower again to this point, forming a new resistance right here. Come here to form another word, support. This is how the chart creates fresh support and fresh resistance in the market. From this support here, price will push higher, giving us another higher high, therefore creating a new resistance. Drop lower again, a new support, a new resistance. This is how price works in creating those levels that we are looking for. Where do you get into the market? Now, from the support level is where you should be looking to do what? To get into the market. When you get in right here, you're targeting this resistance level. When you get in again right here, you're targeting this resistance level. Why are you targeting the resistance level? It's simply because when you get in right here and price start pushing up, price is targeting to take out this resistance, therefore to form another resistance. Now, all you have to do is don't be greedy. Target this previous resistance, allow price to hit you out in that level, and then your trade being terminated and your profit is added to your balance. Price creates another one. Now you wait for price to come back and create another support, and then you get in right here, target this level. This is how simple support and resistance is. So we have key level support. It's not all support level you want to jump into, because you've been taught that price buy from support. Anywhere you see support level, you decide you want to jump into. It is not all. Now, how do you find a key level support? Now, looking at this, when price creates a resistance right here, price push higher, taking out this resistance, automatically turning it toward a support level. Price breaking out of this resistance will automatically turn it toward support. Price will now come and do what? Bounce on it. Looking at this, you can see that all of these charts, all of this movement, price is coming to bounce on what? The support level. There are other criteria too to identify key level support. I'm going to list them out. But before then, let's talk about the downtrend and the resistance also. Now, the same way price starts selling, giving you a downtrend, automatically price will create a resistance and a support. From this support, price push higher, create another resistance to push the market down, therefore creating what? Another support right here to bounce back and then create what? Another resistance. So you can see right here, the resistance level push the market down to a new level, forming what? Support. Push back up again, creating another resistance to drop the market down. All of these areas are what? Resistance level. Now, for a selling market, where do you sell from? The resistance levels. These are the levels you do what? You sell from. All you have to do is wait for price to come and create that opportunity at the resistance level, and then you get in. What are the criteria to identify a key level support, either from a range or any of the structures? Now, let's list it out. Now, you can see the criteria we need to identify a valid key level resistance or a key level support. First, price must have tested it before, which means it must have been tested before, right? Now, the level must be obvious, which means you must see it clearly that this is a resistance level or this is a support level. The next, there must be a drastic move from the level. Now, from that level of support or from the level of resistance, you must see a drop, a massive move or an impulse move from that level to tell you that that level is valid. Now, the next one, price must have turned the level from resistance to support or from support to resistance. Now, this one is also telling you that for you to look for a key level resistance, price must have breaking out from a support and turn it toward a resistance. Let's dive into the chart. Let's see if we can identify a valid support and a valid resistance using these our criteria. Now, this is NZD-USD chart. Clearly, this is what? A selling structure. This is what? A clear downtrend, giving us series of what? Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low to this point, and lower high. We have a lower low right here. Now, let's start with this level right here. Let's start with this first level right here. Clearly, this is what? A resistance level. Let's mark it out. Let's look out for the criteria to see if this level is what? A valid level. Good. Now, criteria 1. Price must have tested the level before. Now, let's check it out. You can see clearly, has price tested this level before? Yes. When price move higher to this resistance level, we have a drop all the way to this point, right? You can see the candle close. Let me increase it where. Good. Now, right here, you can see the candle close levels, right? You can as well mark it this way if you want. But then let's use this candle close right here. Now, price created a resistance level from here and dropped all the way to this point to created a new support. Now, you can see price came back to do what? To retest it. So criteria 1 confirmed from this particular level. Let's check another one again. Let's check criteria 2. The level must be obvious. Now, looking at this, is this level obvious? Clearly, yes. You can see price dropped all the way from there. You can see when price push higher to this point, you have a massive drop. Another push to this point, massive drop, which means you can see the level clearly that this is where what? A resistance level. Now, let's check criteria 3. There must be a drastic move from the level. Good, let's check it out. Do we have a drastic move from there? Do we have a massive drop from there? You can see when price push all the way to that point, you can see the massive drop, giving you a nice confirmation that the resistance is valid. The resistance level is strong. From here, you can see the massive drop. What happened next? Price start dropping lower, giving us a structure downward, which means we have an obvious what? Massive, a obvious level here, and then what? A drastic move. Now, when price got here again, do we have another drastic move? Yes. You can see clearly price dropped massively after touching this resistance level. Now, criteria 3 met. Now, let's check criteria 4. The price must have turned the level from resistance to support or from support toward resistance. Now, is criteria 4 met here? No. Now, since criteria 4 is not met, does it mean that this level is not valid? The answer is no. The level is very, very valid. Now, out of all these criteria, even if one is being met, the level is valid. If this has been met, the level is valid. If any of this has been met, the level is what is valid. Now, if you check this level, you see that we have three criteria met on this level, which means it is very, very valid. So whenever price come there, expect a drastic move, a drastic drop. Because why? This level is what? A strong level. Let's proceed further. Let's look for another level. Looking right here, I can see one level right here. I can identify the level here, but then let's look out the criteria if it's been met for us to confirm or validate this level. So criteria 1, the price must have tested it before. Now look at it. When price push all the way, price came to that same level. Push back up again. We have a breakout from that level. And then you can see price tested it again. So we have one test right here. We have one test. In fact, we have one test right here. We have another test right here. We have another test right here. You can see price tested it multiple times, which means number 1 is valid. Now, the level must be obvious. Let's look at it. Now, when price touched it, when price tested it right here, you can see the drastic move. Now, when price tested it again, you can see another drastic move. Now, when price tested it again, you can see another drastic move. So, criteria 2 is met. Now, the criteria 3, there must be a drastic move from the level. Okay, you can see price did what? Push up massively, right? And the level is what? Obvious. You can see that the levels is very, very obvious. Price tested and the drastic move. So criteria 1 met, criteria 2 met, and criteria 3. Now the criteria 4 is the price must have turned from resistance to support or from support toward resistance. Now look at it very well. From here, when price push to this point, we have this to this level, and then we have price push to this one. You can see this tiny red. Let me increase this. All right, now let's look at it. You can see when price push to this area, price drop lower. You see the breakout. Now you can see this red candle came back to do what? Retest it, right? Push higher. We have another one again right here, right? Price bounce on it as what? Support. Bounce on it here as support. We have a push up and breakout from it, right? What happened next? We have price push higher again, breaking out again, test it as what? Support, right here. We have what? Another test, another breakout. Price push up to this level, tested it as support multiple times, and then before we finally have a breakout as resistance. What happened next? You can see the test again as what? Resistance. Now, price tested it multiple times as a resistance level before dropping, which means we have the four criteria are met on this level. Now, what does that mean? Whenever price come back to that level, expect a massive reaction. It is either price break out, it's either price drop. When price get there, it's either price use it as an opportunity to drop or break out, test it again as an opportunity to do what? To buy massively. Let's proceed further. Now, we have another one here. We have another level here. Guys, as you can see, the level is clearly obvious. You can see right here, we have a first touch, second touch, third touch, fourth touch, fifth. So very, very obvious. And again, another criteria, drastic move. You can see the move massively. When price touched it, massive move. When price used it as resistance, it dropped massively. Resistance level, we have a massive drop. So that one is also met. What next again? Breakout and retest, right? Use as resistance, from resistance to support or from support to resistance. You can see clearly right here that it was what? A support, right? In fact, price broke out from it first because it was previously a resistance. Price broke out from the resistance, use it as a support right here. Now you can see price bouncing on it multiple times as support. What happened next before we finally have our breakout, break in again, right? From here, price tested as what? Resistance. Tested again as what? Resistance. So right here, all the four criteria are met. So this is also what? A valid key level. Now, whenever price come back there, price can use it as key level for a resistance to drop or key level for support to drop. The same way right here, we also have a valid word, key level right here. Now, how do you now mark a zone from these levels? Because we've identified these key levels, we can't just be marking line this way, right? We can't just be marking line this way because it will make our chart look messy. And again, we can as well miss out in a trade. Most times, the reason why you miss out in a trade is simply because you're using too much of lines. Sometimes price may not even get to the line that you mark, but price may use another. Now, let's talk about zones. This is the rectangle tool here we use in marking our zones. Now, why is it called zone? Why is this called zone? It's simply because areas on the chart where the price created multiple levels, those levels on the chart becomes areas, right? And those areas are not equal. The same way your fingers are not equal, that same way the areas on the chart are not equal. Now, when price tested this level as a resistance, when price tests this level as a resistance, push back again, you also have it right here as resistance, push again, you also have it right here as resistance. You can see price tested. Now we have multiple touch right here. Let's say before we have a breakout, right? Let's say this is the highest level, right? Now we have this whole level as what? Zoned. I could have just put what? A line this way. Now, putting a line, you can see that I'm only able to identify a particular level, but not the whole area. So using a zone will help you do what? Identify the whole area. In the sense that whenever price drop to that area, price could use this first level right here to push up. Or price could use any of this level. Price could use this one right here to push. Price could come back again, use this one, any of them to do what? To push. All you have to do is identify the whole levels where you have multiple support and multiple resistance at that key level area. Identify them. So now let's come back to the chart. How do we now mark zones on this. Now, I want to mark out the zone on this particular chart. What do? You can see the beginning of this, right? This is the beginning. So I'm starting from this beginning. Now you can see right here, we have one touch right here, right? We have another touch right here. Now, and then we have again right here. So I am marking my zone this way. Why am I marking it this way? You can see right here, we have one touch still in that same area. We have touches. You can see right here. We have again, we have this right here. So that's why I am marking it, because whenever price come there, price could use this level or the extreme level right there. Now, let's also move to this point. How do I mark this zone right here? Now, look at this. You can see first touch. You can see this level right here is still within the area. You can see this level again, still in the area. This level is in the area. This level is in the area, extend to this point. So how do we mark it? All you have to do is, you can, from the support right here, you can mark, let's start from this point. You can mark from this point right here. You see, I'm adding all of these levels, right? You can see right here. Very simple. This is how you mark out a zone. Extend it. This is part of the zone. This is part of the zone. This is part of the zone, because they are all in the same area. Now let's come to this other point. How do you mark out this zone? You can see this level right here. You can see this level right here. You can see obvious levels around here. What do? You can start from this first one right here. Extend it. I've identified another zone area. Now, this is another one. How do you mark this? I don't have to say too much. You can see right here. Now you can choose to use the wick. You can choose to use the candle close. I've identified another zone. This is how to mark out a zone, so you don't miss out on what? Trades. Now let's look out for another chart, another level. Now, do we have a valid key level in this area? Yes, very valid. You can see right here, price rejected here. We have another rejection. We have rejection right there. Trace it back to this point. We also have rejection. So I can mark this level as my key level area. We can see another level right here. You can see rejection, 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 all to this point. I can also mark another key level area right here. So guys, this is how to identify support and resistance level. All you have to do is, after identifying those levels, just wait for price to do what? Come to your level and retest it. Remember, look out for the criteria that validates the level before you take it as your key level. Now we have another level right here. You can see the touch right here. You can see the touch right here. You can see another touch right here. Now you want to mark the zone. It's very simple. You can highlight it from the candle close, extend it all the way. Now this level that I identify, if we trace it to where the current chart, you see that price respected that area. You can see clearly. Price respected it, right? You can see again to this point. Price did what? Respected it. Now, this is another level right here. You can see price has been rejecting that area. You can see again, this is another support level. All you have to do is identify those levels and make the work easier for yourself. This is the current chart, right? This is the current chart. And then, now looking at this trade right here, how do you know the level you want to focus on this current trade? First of all, look for what? A key level. Do we have any key level around here? Yes, there's a key level here. You can see price created the level as what? Support, support, support. Now we have a breakout from that support. automatically turn into resistance. Price has already tested it again as what? Resistance. So whenever price come back to that area, I want to see a drastic move that price is ready to sell, and then I do what? I go in for a sell. That's simple. Now, what do I do in this case? I mark out my zone. How do I mark out my zone? Very simple. This is my zone area. This is my zone area from the level right here. All I want to see is price do what? Come back and retest that level. Give me the opportunity to go in. So this is very simple on how to identify support and resistance level. When price is trending downward, look for a valid resistance level. When price is trending upward, look for a valid support level. And then wait for price to do what? Come and retest that level, giving you a drastic move and the obvious move also that the price is respecting it, and then you find your entry. So guys, if you don't understand this, try and rewatch it again. Rewatch it again, you will get it clear. Now, all of, like I used to say in my videos, all of these things you're learning, you won't get better in it if you don't practice. I will advise you to do what? Go and practice. After watching, go and practice, go and work on it, go and back test, right? Don't just watch and then end it there. Go and practice. So that is it about this support and resistance and zone. If you enjoy this video, please kindly subscribe, click on the notification bell for more of this, right? So thank you guys. I'll see you in my next video.